Thank you for joining us today here at UCentral News. I'm CJ Craig.
And I'm Jackson Rowbottom. The Media Ethics Conference just ended this morning, and speakers took the time to get here and cover the future of media and news. Our own Mari Blair has the details. Mari?
From Oklahoma Christian in 2021.
Students, faculty, and media professionals gathered at UCO today for the annual Media Ethics Conference. The theme this year is the future of media and whether ethics will be a part of it. Conference co-chair Morgan Nelson talked with UCentral about the conference.
The Ethics Conference is about the future of media and how ethics will play a part into it. This is really important to all of us in college right now because this pertains to our future. This is a big part of how we will enter the workforce and how the workforce will be here in the next few years. And some of our topics play on some of the most important parts, including diversity, how young journalists are changing the standards, the Trump effect on media, and how media is evolving right now.
Diversity panelist and media professional Amanda Sue shared what she hoped attendees would take away from the conference.
Students hoping to get into the field will probably have to remember that ethics is like number one. At least when I operated as a student journalist and as a professional, ethics was number one. You make sure that you're not, you're minimizing harm, you're covering all your communities and being respectful and accurate as a journalist, because that's what your job is. Your job is to accurately report on and represent your community that you're covering.
From the UCO campus in Edmond, I'm Mari Blair.
Thanks, Mari. And we have someone special with us today here live in the studio. Kendall Walton is here from the Media Ethics Conference to give us an insight. Kendall, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Do you mind sharing with us what made you choose to be involved with the Media Ethics Conference?
Yeah, so every year I plan an event for the LGBT community at Rose State College, and so I really wanted to take this moment to get better at event planning, to network, but also to showcase how diversity is important, not just in life, but especially in the newsroom.
That's right, and especially in the context of we are in the newsroom day in, day out, and we see the fact that diversity makes it a better place. But why specifically is diversity so important to you in the context of especially moving forward with media and in ethics?
Yeah, so the reason why it's so important is you are giving a platform for these underserved communities to be able to voice their opinions and their concerns. Before, it was playing into stereotypes and just various roles like that that were outdated. And so having that diverse input allows for a different set of eyes, a different set of beliefs, a different set of opinions on these topics.
And the right amount of diverse representation is, I think, very adequate and very effective inside of the news environment. What is good representation of diversity within the newsroom and when you're going onto a set and you're producing media for the community?
Yeah, I think good diversity and representation is respectful and accurate representation. So things like not playing into stereotypes, giving everybody a fair shot and fair time to just be able to voice their community's needs and their opinions.
And to us, especially at the desk, who are directly talking to the people, but for people working in the newsroom, what is something that we can bear in mind when we think about diversity? What is diversity supposed to mean to the people in the newsroom? And what is our responsibility with diversity to the people in the community?
I think our responsibility to it is to remain accurate, factual, as well as I think it's important for diversity to be in those newsrooms because it allows, like I said, those opinions, those beliefs to come through. And so when you have somebody in your newsroom that looks like you and thinks like you all the time and everybody's the same, you're not going to produce very different sides of stories. You're not going to produce different opinions, different community perspectives.
And we are very grateful for that. We are very grateful for everything that you guys put on here at the school. Me and CJ were both in attendance at the conference. We were able to hear all of those excellent words, hear all those excellent messages. And so we know that diversity is very important to us. We know that diversity is important inside the newsroom, and we are thankful for your time and everything that you and everybody involved in the Media Ethics Conference did putting that on for us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. And so right now we're going to go ahead and take our first look at weather right after this. And immediately we are back. And CJ, we've got some fairer weather coming up. I know it's kind of middling, very mild. We're starting to get into those fall temperatures.
That is very true. We are starting to see those temperatures start to come down, and we are going to start seeing some more fall temperatures. But for right now, it's feeling pretty warm. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions here in Edmond today. We're seeing a lot of fair weather over the past couple of weeks, 82 degrees here in Edmond. The winds aren't blowing too hard. They're only blowing southwest at about 9 miles per hour. So obviously not very windy out today. The humidity is at about 27%. It's not very humid. And with that wind, it is feeling like it is 80 degrees outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at your weather headlines for this week. It's going to be a little warm for fall temperatures, so we are going to see some 80-degree weather days sticking around as we move throughout this week. However, we are going to see a cold front that is going to make its way through Oklahoma coming this weekend, and with that, that's going to lower our temperatures just for a couple of days. Then we're going to shoot right back up into the 80-degree weather, and we do have lots of sunny weather on the horizon. But for right now, that's all I have for weather. I'm going to toss it back over to Jackson.
Thank you very much, CJ. And our school soccer team used last week's game, to honor the UCO alum and police officer that died. The soccer team wore the number 0 on their wrists, which had been Sergeant Burke's number when she played here during the game.
And the UCO soccer team will also be going to Sergeant Burke's funeral, which will be this Thursday at Southern Hills Baptist Church. That service will start at 4 p.m.
And switching gears now, Oklahoma's next election is on November 8th, and the deadline to register to vote is coming up. Applications must be received or postmarked by October 14th, and you can go online to the OK Voter portal to fill out an application. Once it's filled out, you have to print and sign it before delivering it to your county's election board or by mail or in person.
And today, Governor Stitt signed a bill preventing transgender youth from medical transitional services. The bill went into immediate effect after his signature. Stitt says that by doing so, he is protecting children and will continue to prevent services that use hormone-altering technology.
And UCO's New Plains Student Publishing will host its annual Sherman Chattelstone Arts and Lecture Series this upcoming Monday. Now, this event is free and features Jim Gray, a former principal chief of the Osage Nation and publisher of the Native American Times. The event includes readings, presentations, and cultural events.
And don't forget, tonight from 7 to 8, Coffee and Careers will be in the Quad Lobby. Members from the UCO Career Development Centers are coming to help prepare you with resources that will benefit you after your time here at college.
And it might be time for you to de-stress and head over to the library this Thursday because Stress Paws are back, and with midterms coming up, this might be the remedy, as petting dogs is also proven to reduce stress. So head down to the Max room on the 4th floor of the Max Chambers Library every Thursday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And also, we have temperatures starting to drop, which means the fall weather is on the way.
That's right, Jackson. Fall is definitely on its way, and I'll have more coming up right after this break. Stay tuned.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to UCentral. And if you've been outside at all these past couple of weeks, you know it is definitely a relief that we are seeing some colder temperatures compared to what we were seeing. Multiple days of 90 degree, 100 degree plus weather is slowly starting to come to an end as we march to October today. Let's go ahead and look at our weather headlines. We are going to be just a little warm for our current fall temperatures. We're going to stick around the 80s for a couple of days. However, there is some relief on the way as we are going to have a cold front that is going to be making its way through Oklahoma coming this weekend. With it, it's going to bring some more moisture, some scattered thunderstorms, and some cooler air as well. So we will be seeing that coming up later. And we also do have lots of sunny weather on the horizon, lots of sun for you guys coming up this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at current conditions around Oklahoma right now. And as you can see, pretty much all the same around most of the states, sitting at those low 80 temperatures. Altus down there sitting at about 86. Diamond all the way up in the northwest sitting at 67 degrees. They're starting to feel that cooler air right now. That cooler air is going to make its way through Oklahoma this coming week. Oklahoma City, however, sitting at about 82. Ponca City, 84. All the way up there in Miami, 82 as well. So very fair temperatures, kind of warm for the fall time around this season. We're kind of used to seeing 70, 60 degree weather, but it is going to be 80 degrees for the foreseeable future. Tonight's lows here in Edmond sitting at a cool 59 degrees under clear skies. That wind is also going to remain relatively the same, blowing southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Although the humidity is going to jump up just a little bit to about 50% coming tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at lows around the state. And it is pretty much all of the same. We can see some 50s. Oklahoma City sitting there at about 60 degrees as our low. Lawton, Altus down there, 55, 54 respectively. And then Diamond as well, going to be catching up with the rest of the state, sitting at about 53 degrees as its low for tonight. Let's go ahead and check out tomorrow's highs. And Diamond up there again getting the cooler weather for us. I know a lot of us are jealous about that. But here in the metro, we're going to be sitting at a kind of warm, 84 degrees. Woodward up there at 77 degrees. And as you can see, those temperatures are starting to drop up in the northwestern part of the state. That's where that cold front is going to be making its way through over the next couple of days. Let's go ahead and take a look at your daily forecast coming up. For tomorrow, 7 a.m. it's going to be a cool 60 degrees. Might want to grab a jacket or sweater on your way to work or school or wherever you're going out in the morning. And then coming into noon, it's going to be one of those days where you have to take that jacket right back off once you get there, going back up to about 79 degrees. That's about our peak for the day. And then 7 p.m. as the sun starts to go down, we are going to drop back down to 78 as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast coming up for you here in Edmond. And as you can see, coming in on Friday, that's when that cold front is going to make its way through central Oklahoma. And with it, you can see that temperature drops down to the 70s being our high. And then going into Saturday, 70. Flat is going to be our high. And those lows as well, 49 on Friday night. So it is definitely going to get pretty chilly with that cold front moving through. However, it isn't going to last long as we are right back up to the 80 degree temperatures going into next week. So that's all that I have for weather right now. I'm going to throw it back over to Jackson.
Thank you very much, CJ. And coming up, we're going to have Lauren Henry bringing us our social media segment. You won't want to miss it.
Raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the mass comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
I'm Lauren Henry, and I'm bringing you your social media update. Over the weekend, senatorial candidate Madison Horn has taken to Twitter to call out her competition, James Lankford. Horn states that she, her team, and other media outlets are ready for a debate. This is not the first time Horn has utilized Twitter to speak directly to the current sitting senator. As of now, Lankford has not responded to Horn or to the call for a debate. Happening overseas in Iran, protests broke out following the death of Mahsa Amini, a woman detained and killed for allegedly wearing her hijab improperly. These protest photos and videos began to gain traction on the internet, and the Iranian government has responded by blocking nearly all social media outlets and apps in the country. Their government aims to limit the citizens' ability to communicate information about protests in hopes to end them. And if you are expecting a package from the UK, be ready for a delay. The Communication Workers Union has united its members in a strike against the Royal Mail. The workers are protesting working conditions and pay. People have taken to Twitter sharing photos, videos, and memes of the protest. Royal Mail has even released a statement prepping their customers for the delays caused by the strike. The strike will continue through October and November. Election season is right around the corner, and if you still haven't registered to vote, look no further than the popular social media app Snapchat. Users can use it to both register and check their registration status. The Snapchat's team sent out information to users today with a link that takes you to the registration website. And Korean street food vendor OK Dog has added Oklahoma to their list of locations today. You can find them in the food court at Penn Square Mall. They serve a variety of Korean rice, hot dogs, egg toast, fruit drinks, and mochi donuts. The Myriad Gardens also welcomes their annual Pumpkinville starting this Friday and running through October 23rd. Admission is $9 for ages 2 and up and free for members. Visitors can enjoy free crafts, face painting, paint a pumpkin, and much, much more. With so much to do this holiday season, I don't know where to start. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Lauren. And well, coming up after this, Patrick is going to break down the sports recap for us.
He's got tons of it. He's got tons of it coming our way, and that's coming up right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit Travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back, Broncos fans. I'm Patrick Talbot, and this is your Tuesday Sports Update. UCO Broncos are on a short week this week as they take on Northeastern State on Thursday night here in Edmond. The President's Cup on the line. Winners of the last 7 cups, UCO has dominated the rivalry that's been played 80 times since the early 1900s. After an impressive 45-3 win over Lincoln this past weekend, head coach Adam Dorrell on turning around in the short week and gearing up for Northeastern State.
Try to have guys fresh, not just fresh physically, but fresh mentally, and really challenge them to, we have a self-care checklist of sleep 8 hours a night, drink a gallon of water a day, and eat before you come to practice and before you go to your study hours. Just stuff like that I think really helps the guys.
And quarterback Stephon Brown was impressive on Saturday, throwing for 273 yards and 3 touchdowns. His development as a pocket passer helping Central open things up for the offense.
I really feel like Steph Brown took a big step forward Saturday. He hung in the pocket. He completed a couple down the field passes, which we really challenged him on.
And the Broncos are now 3-2 on the year, and they are back in action again this Thursday night against the Riverhawks at 7 p.m. at Chad Richardson Stadium. And to the NFL now, where the dominant defense and Deebo Samuel carried San Francisco 49ers to a convincing win over last year's Super Bowl champs, the LA Rams. San Francisco's defense stifled Sean McVay's offense, forcing 2 turnovers and limiting them to just 257 yards of total offense. Deebo took what should have been an interception by Jimmy G, sprinkled some pixie dust on it, and somehow turned it into a 57-yard touchdown.
Terrific catch and run. One-on-one with Ramsey. Can't bring him down. Samuel, highlight reel.
And a rough start for the defending Super Bowl champs as the Rams now fall to 2-2 early on in the year. They welcome Dallas Cowboys to SoFi Stadium this Sunday afternoon. And the 49ers are also 2-2 after the win, and they have a matchup in Carolina against Baker Mayfield and the Panthers on Sunday.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
There he is. There he is. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's what we're talking about. Wagner, a veteran, right? Get him down. Now.
Meanwhile, the story from last night's game focuses on Rams linebacker Bobby Wagner as he tackled a protester who ran onto the field with what appeared to be a smoke bomb or a flare. The fan was then apprehended by authorities and escorted off the field. And now to the Diamond, where the MLB playoff picture has become crystal clear as the final wild card spot was clinched last night. It's been a long road for the Philadelphia Phillies this year. After a 22-29 start, the Phils fired their manager, Joe Girardi. And a two-month absence, from two-time MVP Bryce Harper, a slow start from third baseman Alec Boehm, and other hiccups along the way, and it seemed like there was no chance for Philadelphia this season. Through it all, they persisted, they never gave up, and they kept battling. The reward, a playoff berth for the first time since 2011. Meanwhile, for another NL East team, things not looking so hot right now. New York Mets, for the majority of the season, look like the team to beat in the National League, with great offense and great pitching to back it up. Down the stretch, however, that's not the case. The Mets were swept by the Atlanta Braves over the weekend and went from holding the lead in the NL East division to a wild card seat. If the Braves win a game or the Mets lose a game, the division belongs to the Braves, and the Mets would have a first-round series with the San Diego Padres or the Philadelphia Phillies. Meanwhile, the Braves get a first-round bye and await the winner of the St. Louis and Philadelphia or San Diego matchup. And now for the coolest thing I saw over the weekend. Longtime Cardinals Albert Pujols, in the midst of a magical final season, starting pitcher Adam Wainwright, who's been with the organization for 17 years, and Yadier Molina, the team's starting catcher for the past 19 years, were all pulled from the trio's last regular season home game together.
All of them coming out.
The trio has appeared in a combined 5,755 games with the Cardinals organization thus far. and the three are pretty much guaranteed to have their jerseys retired by the franchise. Arguments will be made for all three of them to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. That's all I got for sports today. Let's go ahead and send it back to Jackson and CJ at the desk.
Thank you very much, Patrick. A lot of good things happening in St. Louis for the Cardinals, and there's something good happening here. And when we come back from the break, the Oklahoma City Zoo's new Okapi's name is going to be revealed right after the break.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
And welcome back to UCentral News, where we're going to give you a quick look at the last of our weather updates. CJ, what do you have for us for weather?
That's right, Jackson. Let's go take a look at our last 7-day forecast. Let's go ahead and see right here. For the rest of the week, it's going to remain pretty much the same up until Friday. On Friday, that's when we're going to see that cold front start to make its way through Oklahoma. That's where we're going to start feeling it. And then into the weekend, that's going to stick around Saturday, the high being 70 degrees. However, it's not going to stick around long, as we are right back into the warmer temperatures as we go into next week. So that's all I have for weather. I'm going to throw it back over to Jackson. Jackson?
Thank you very much, CJ. And a quick update on the Okapi calf at the Oklahoma City Zoo. He has officially been named Nzadi, which means river. The Okapis are an endangered species and native to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This little calf was born on September 7th and is currently in his nesting phase, spending most of his time in the barn. However, he has been exploring his habitat so that you may be able to see him if you visit. Crinkly little guy, he's just born. He's going to be a great addition to the Oklahoma City Zoo. And that is all the time we are going to have for you here on UCentral News. I'm Jackson Rowbottom.
And I'm CJ Craig.
Stay safe, Oklahoma, and we'll see you tomorrow.